Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. You're watching what's Rakesh up to. What am I up to today? I think you already know it in the title of the video, but yeah. So this video is all about a review of my 2-month-old GoPro Hero 9 Black. So let's get right into the video. So just for this video, I've put everything back in the box, however it came in. I mean, I've tried to do it, replicate it. So this is my 2-month-old GoPro Hero 9 Black, and just with the unboxing, the first thing I like about the packaging that GoPro is given for this particular device is that it comes with a pouch. So before this, you guys know that till the 8, right, it came in a very big plastic box that was really not useful also. So this time it comes in a nice case, so you just have to discard this, and this is paper, and it's environmental friendly, so that out of the way. So it comes in a very nice hard case, and you can actually use it to store your GoPro and everything. And once you're into the box, what you have is device and few papers, stickers, and a basic mount that you need, maybe for the helmet or the car, and these thumb screws are what saves your life. And so this is the basic packaging that they give, and the battery is missing here because it's already in the device. And let me just get the device out so that we can talk about it more. So this is my 2-month-old GoPro Hero 9 Black. So just to get started with the basic specs of this thing, right? So this is an action camera, and this is the latest in the GoPro series, and this is the Hero 9 Black. Before this, it was the 8 and 7, and okay. So this is an action camera mainly used for adventure, or when you places where you can't use your phone much, right? So for places like that, you can carry these, and this is really useful for people who are always on the go, because phones are sometimes not really that friendly. You can't place it somewhere, just leave it, or can't put it on your helmet, or can't put it on your surfing board, or can't put it on your boat. So these are very useful in that manner. So coming to the basic specs, this has got a 20 megapixel camera. So I think you can see it here. So this has got a 20 megapixel camera that shoots videos and photos and a lot of other time lapses and night lapses. You shoot 5K in 30 frames per second. The other resolution is 4K. Coming back to 4K, you will see it shooting 4K 60 frames per second, and you also have the other resolutions that are very basic, like 1080p, 720p, and all that, between 240 to 30 to 240 frames per second. So continuing with the specs, so this is also got a the inbuilt mount that you can use for your accessories, right? So before this, or in the older GoPros, not in the 8, so you have older GoPros that you needed a housing that had this kind of mount to fit to anything that you needed, right? So this thing comes with it, so that you don't have to have an additional housing. And if you're wondering, I have another action camera, that is the Osmo, that actually needs a housing, and I know how irritating that is. So this is without the housing, and also without the housing, it has 33 feet of underwater shooting capacity, so you can take it 33 feet below the water and shoot it without any housing. So next thing is the stabilization. Coming to the stabilization, obviously this is an action camera, and stabilization has to be the best. So this comes with the Hyper Smooth 3.0, that is the latest one from the GoPro family. So it is really stable, so that way all your footages are really smooth, and you don't have too much of movements or disturbance while shooting videos. So that's about the stabilization. So once you have it mounted somewhere, right, the stabilization takes care of everything. And I use this a lot for all my vlogs, so it is really smooth. And so apart from that basic specs, it also has a lot of other shooting modes. It has hyperlapse, time lapse, video mode, photo mode. You can also click nice photos with this. It's a 20 megapixel, right? So you get a nice the sensor is not that big. It doesn't do that well with night photography, but yeah, it can take good photos for Instagram and all the basic content, right? And it also has voice control. You can speak to it and tell it to like start recording a video or take a photo. So all the voice control, you can do it using voice command. And also the other thing, for people who are really into creating content, or people who use it for photography, it also has raw shooting capacity, so you can use it to tweak it later on in your laptop. So that being said, I'll get into get into 5 things that I like about this and 5 things I really hate about this, and let's just get started. So the first thing I like about this device is its performance. So like I said, this is an action camera and that's the top priority for a device like this, and this having a 20 megapixel sensor does a really good job. And be it photography, be it capturing videos or time lapses, and it does a really well-rounded work across all formats. And also this the color that you get in this, the vibrance that it puts to the videos that it captures is really nice. Also you don't need to edit these footages too much, because GoPro tends to tweak all its colors, the saturation, everything initially itself while you shoot the video. So the performance on this is really nice. And also like I said, I have another action camera. Comparing that to it, it doesn't heat up. The camera quality also is better than other action cameras that I've used or come across. So that's the first thing I like about this device. The second thing is the shooting modes. The shooting modes, when I say shooting modes, what I mean is the different settings or different modes that are inbuilt in the device that help you shoot whatever you want to shoot in that particular format. So for example, hyperlapse, time lapse, night lapse, right? These are things that you need at a particular time, like night lapse. So you don't have to do any kind of setting. You just go to the mode, go to select night mode, night time lapse, and you can actually capture the stars or actually capture the night sky in a very really nice way. So the other thing is it's very easy to navigate through these modes. You can use it to say select 5K 30 or 4K 30 to 60, so you can easily tweak everything and the modes will get automatically saved. So that's a really nice thing that this GoPro can do. So the third thing is again stabilization. I think I spoke enough about the stabilization. Again, action camera, it has to be stable, and with the hyper smooth 3.3 it does a really good job. I've used this on my car, I've used this on my bike, I've used it to motovlog, and it is very stable. And people ask me whether I've shot it in a gimbal or someone is holding it for me in a really stable position, but all I tell is that it's just the GoPro, man. And even when you run with just your hand, right, even without using a stick or even without using a tripod, it is really stable, and you don't have to do much later on in for editing also. It's a very stable camera for that matter, right? The fourth thing that I love about this device is the front display. Like you guys know, I use this mainly for vlogging in this channel. So this is one of the main cameras that I use for vlogging. So if not for the front display, I would have a tough time vlogging. So I've used a few of my friends GoPro 7 and 8 where looking at it, and you can't really see yourself, and vlogging is something that you really can't do. And when you're shooting yourself in the older devices, all you could do is shoot in the dark. Like you don't know what you're capturing, and you don't know how you look. So that way, this front display, right, which switches on, let me just switch it on. So this front display, right, it's a really must have for at least the vlogging setup. So it does a very good job in showing everything, and it also has these smaller details about the battery, about how much memory is there, and what format you're shooting in, so that you don't have to flip your screen and see what you're shooting all the time. So that's the fourth best thing about the device that I like. And coming to the fifth one, it's the build quality. Again, these things are meant to be thrown around. These things are meant to be mounted to your bike, mounted to your car, or mounted to your boat, or anything that you want to mount it to. So since these are meant for such extreme purposes, all I can say is the build quality, right, on the GoPro is really nice. So it has a very nice rubber texture in the front, so that you grip it really nice. And also I've also had few falls where this fell say from 1 or 2 feet, and it didn't have an issue. So the build quality is nice, and you can be a little carefree, because these are action cameras and it's meant to be like that. And so these are the 5 things that I like about the GoPro. 5 things I don't love or like about this device. So the first thing is the not recording issue as in, so I don't know how many of you are familiar with the GoPros earlier, but so there is an issue with the GoPro's recording when you click on the record button. So this happens very often when you feel that you've clicked the button and you're recording something, but what happens is GoPro decides not to record anything and then leave you disappointed. So that's one thing that even I've observed and Reddit or seen it in a lot of other vlogs or YouTubers, right? So personally, what happened was one of my experiences personally was when I was in Varanga in my recent trip. So my drone crashed, and what happened was I started recording. I started speaking to the camera and it was showing that it was recording, but it actually didn't record. So I spoke like a retarded person to a camera that was not recording, and it was like a 2-minute interval, and I told everything what happened. I showed how the drone broke, how it's broken and everything, and come back home and there is no footage. Then I was really surprised, and that issue is there in most of the other GoPros also. So that's one thing, I don't know why, but GoPro has to fix that. If not, it's gonna be a bigger issue later on. So that's the first thing. The second thing is screen touch response. So the touch screen, right, it's a small display, and it's not the best of the touch response. So what happens is whenever you want to move around the menu and everything, right, you have to give in some pressure, or you have to it's not like a regular phone or something, right? It's not that free of a touch. So tumma press madi, you have to press hard and then try to operate it. If not, it gets really annoying. And there were times when I wanted to select something and there is something really nice to shoot, and I'll be playing around and pressing it and it doesn't respond. So that's one it's like a bummer when you're trying to record something really important or something that could move away in the next minute, right? So that's the second thing I hate about this. The third thing is the mic. So it has an inbuilt mic. It does a decent job, it doesn't do a very good job. So that's one thing they could have improved on the GoPro Hero 9. So when it comes to recording the surrounding sound and everything, right, like if you're shooting something like a scenery, so it does a very good job capturing the audio of the nature of the birds and everything. But when it comes to vlogging, right, it doesn't do a good job. So the other thing what you got to do to get better audio is use an external mic, and that doesn't happen just like that in the GoPro. So what happens is you don't have a 3.5mm audio jack in this, so you'll have to get something like this. So this is something that is sold by GoPro officially, where it goes into the C-type pin that you have, and then you have an audio 3.5mm mic adapter in this. So this again costs a bomb. I think you people who are familiar with it know that buying this again is a separate investment for a good mic. So since it doesn't have a good mic, you'll have to buy all that, and then it's an additional cost that you get a good audio with. So ಖರ್ಚು ತುಂಬ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. So that's something that you'll have to keep in mind. And the fourth thing that I don't like about this device is the battery. The battery is around 1300 mAh, I think, which is good for an hour of recording probably. If it's more than that, you'll have to need an extra you need an extra battery, or you need to plug it into your power bank or somewhere in your car and charge it on the go. So I see this is a bigger device than the GoPro Hero 8. So what I felt was they could have given a better battery. The battery issue also limits how you create. So what happens is so this can shoot 5K like I told you, or even 4K. So shooting in 4K or 5K limits your battery to just 30 to 40 minutes, right? It's not an impressive thing when you're outside traveling, right, and you don't have a power bank or you don't have a power source where you can charge. So what happens is I dial down to either 2.7K or 1080p so that I get a better battery. So because of the low battery or lesser battery issue, you have to dial down to 2.7 or 1080p. Which is not ideal, right? So that's the fourth thing I don't like about this. The fifth thing I don't like about this is the price. ಗೊತ್ತಲ್ವಾ 40K 40,000 ರೂಪಾಯಿಗಳು. So this is in India currently. At least when I bought it, it was around 40,000 rupees. And if you're lucky enough, you would get a deal in Amazon for somewhere around 30 to 35, and that depends on the seller and where you're getting it and all that. But yeah, 40K for an action camera, you can actually get a decent decent phone for that price, or something else also, right? You can get 2 or 3 mid-range phones for that price. So that being said, again, I don't like to talk about price because it's very subjective to few people, but for me, right, 40,000, and I waited quite a bit of time to invest on something like this because it was this expensive. So this is the last thing that I don't like about this device. So that being said, considering all the good and bad, overall this is a very well-rounded device for all the purposes that you can use for. So to answer the final question, ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಬೇಕಾ? I mean, do you really need something like this? It again depends on what you're trying to do or what you're using it for. So I don't suggest it to people who don't travel often, who don't make videos, or who don't create some kind of content for Instagram or anything, like even for personal content, right? If someone doesn't use it for those purposes, it's not worth buying. But if you're someone who like to put it on your car, show people where you drove, or show people few places, or use it to vlog, or use it for making any kind of videos, right? For them it's a good investment because your phone can't do everything that this does. So your phone can do a lot of things, but you can't throw it somewhere, you can't put it underwater and all that, right? So the phone has its limitation, even though it has a nicer camera. But this, if you're using it in the right way, this is something that you'll have to invest in. And if you ask me, yes, if you really need it, go for it. It's the best right now. Again, comparing it to the other action camera that I'm using, this is again pretty impressive, and it's a good buy, right? So that's about the video. So these were the things that I wanted to tell about the GoPro Hero 9 Black. So I hope you guys like this video, and if you like the video, you know what to do. Please give it a like, please comment, give in your feedbacks in the comment section, and also subscribe to my channel if you're not already subscribed. And if you like it, you can also share it to all your friends, and support Madi. See you guys in the next travel tech some kind of video. So bye.